If you'd like to read along, visit shahnamequest.substack.com for transcripts, illustrations, and bonus content. King Tahmures is the third king in the Shahnameh, following his father, King Hushang. Like Hushang's reign, Tahmures's is all about progress, advancing civilization, building society, and innovating. But while Hushang's laid the foundation, Tahmures's reign takes things leaps and bounds further. Because Tahmures is not just any old king. He also possesses magical powers. In addition to his crown, King Tahmures wields a magic mace. Think of it like it's a sorcerer's wand, and it's often depicted as having the figure of an ox head carved in gold at the top. With this mace, Tahmures summons supernatural forces to accelerate humanity's progress. For example, he uses it to shear sheep and spin their wool into fabric, and that's how people begin making clothes and drapes and textiles. He tames animals for farming, training them to eat grass and barley and hay. And even wild predators like jackals and cheetahs, Tahmures drives them up into the mountains to keep them at bay from harming humans. He trains hawks and eagles to hunt and levels civilization up to new heights. But even with these advances, Tahmures still has one mission above all else, and that is to defeat Ahriman the devil. So, one day, King Tahmures uses his full magical powers to bind Ahriman the devil and humiliate him by riding him like a horse. That is how Tahmures throws down his first gauntlet in the battle between good and evil. But Ahriman's army of monstrous Dīvs is not about to let this slide. They regroup, they re-strategize, and come back with full force. The Dīvs rally their most terrifying, vicious creatures of the underworld and launch an all-out assault on the good world. But King Tahmures could not be more ready. He mobilizes his army and calls on every force he can, natural, supernatural, and magical, and binds up the entire Dīv army with his enchanted mace. One of my favorite depictions of this scene is in the Shahnameh of Shah Tahmasp, in a folio owned by the Metropolitan Museum of Art, in which it actually depicts this scene of Tahmures defeating the Dīvs by knocking them with the ox-headed mace, and all of the Dīvs running in terror away from him. It's an awesome painting. So after trapping all of the Dīvs, and before Tahmures is about to finish them off, the Dīvs actually come to Tahmures and beg him for mercy, offering him a deal. The Dīvs tell King Tahmures, "If you spare our lives, we pledge to serve you forever." And King Tahmures thinks and finally accepts this deal on the condition that the Dīvs teach Tahmures everything they know about all of the arts and skills and languages of the universe. And that's what happens. Tahmures spares the Dīvs' lives, and from that moment on, for the rest of his 30-year reign, the Dīvs teach Tahmures 30 new languages, including Greek and Arabic and Chinese and the ancient Iranian language of Pahlavi, all of their scripts and all of their arts and skills, further fueling this magical advancement of the world. And so that becomes King Tahmures' legacy. He is the Dīv-Binder, the magician king who pushed the world forward, tamed the evil forces, and subdued and commanded all of the world's most vicious monsters and made them his servants and his teachers. And so when his reign finally reaches its natural end, King Tahmures passes the throne down to his son, Jamshid, who will go on to become one of the most famous and popular kings in the Shahnameh, but whose reign marks a pivotal turning point in the battle between good and evil. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it or leave a review. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more Shahnameh quests.